All right.
Okay. What is up, everyone? It's Alonna with 570 Press, and we are back for another 570 Music Chat. It's so weird calling it that now, but considering we have the other podcast, I kind of have to differentiate now. So today we are talking with Johnny Grhymes, and he just released his new album, The Chocolate Dynasty, and I love the title, and I love the album. So how are you today?
I'm all right. I'm all right. How's everyone out there doing?
Well, I'm doing well. Hopefully, everybody else is doing well on this fine Wednesday evening. So, why don't you start off with an introduction to yourself for those who may not have heard of you?
Yeah, I mean, just a cat out from Pittsburgh. You know what I mean? Uh, just someone that's keeping it real with that boom bap '90s type style. You know what I mean? The new rap really ain't my thing, so I just kind of just stuck with what I know.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. And you know what? You can definitely hear the heavy '90s influence in the album. I was very impressed because, like you said, I'm not a fan of modern rap. I liked some of like the early to mid 2000s, but I'm mostly like 80s and 90s rap. Like I can't get into the new stuff.
Yeah, new stuff's trash.
Yeah.
There's no skill really to it.
Oh yeah, no, no, not at all. And I feel like, I feel like the wrong rappers are the ones that blow, and the ones that are actually good in the modern day are the ones who don't. And I don't think it's fair in
Yeah,
that aspect. Yeah.
yeah. Davey should have been blown, but it's
Oh
just
yeah.
you got these new ones. They're trash. Honestly, it's the industry. That's what they want to push.
Yep. Yep. And a lot of the rappers have a lot of controversy around them because that's what sells. That's what the
Yeah.
industry wants. Yeah. So how did you decide that you wanted to become a rapper?
Um, I heard Illmatic when I was 11. So I
Nice.
mean, after hearing Nas do Illmatic, that's pretty much all I wanted to do after that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and that's an awesome album. I love Nas.
Yeah, like Nas, Wu Tang. I mean,
Yeah.
36 Chambers. I mean, all that good
Oh
shit.
yeah. Yep.
Uh,
See, I am a huge, huge Run DMC fan. I love Run DMC.
Oh yeah, come on, man. Run
Yeah.
whose house?
Yep.
Run's house.
And Public Enemy, Welcome to the Terror Dome. Love it.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
shit was Terminator X.
Yeah. Oh my God. I know. I love it. Love it. So, in terms of your name, Johnny Grimes, it's actually very clever. It's very catchy. How did you come up with that?
Honestly, it was a nickname coming up. I mean, they would always call me Grimes or something like that. So my boy, I mean, back in the day, we'd get in some trouble, and it just came out like that. So I just kept it.
Just one second. Oh yeah, but you know what? That's honestly a really cool nickname. So it was just a nickname. So how did it end up sticking?
Just that's what people would call me. So just I mean, they wouldn't call me Johnny Grimes; they just call me Grimes. They still do it
Cool.
today. So like,
Wow,
uh,
yeah.
I just
Yeah.
stuck with it.
Wow. Okay, that's really awesome. A lot of respect, yeah. So you recently released Chocolate Dynasty, the autobiography of the gritty rock star. Try and say
Right?
that 5 times fast.
Yeah.
Um but I love the title. But what was like your songwriting process like for that album? How long did that take you to complete that?
It took me about 2 months.
Oh,
Uh,
really?
yeah. I just got in a writer's mode. Like I was, I mean,
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
writing. I mean, I was going through like a really bad breakup with my baby's mom and shit. So all I did was write. I sat back and wrote. I mean, figured out what I wanted to put out, and then by the time I knew it, I was recording over with my man over at Brutal Business, my man Demo, and before I knew it, we had a whole album recorded.
Wow. Wow. That's awesome. And do you think that that situation you were in coupled with quarantine, do you think that that kind of just sped up the process for you?
Oh yeah, definitely did.
Yeah.
I mean, off of the second track off the album, I mean, she's kind of pissed off because of what I said on there, but it is what
Yeah.
it is. Hindsight, I probably shouldn't have said it, but I was writing, it just went down.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And you know what? A lot of times though, music is all up to interpretation. So, just because you were trying to get something across doesn't mean people are gonna take it in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I feel like that's the really good thing about art is that it's suggestive and people to kind of form their own opinion on it. So, does your current songwriting process differ from any of your previous releases?
Say it again.
Does your current songwriting process differ from any of your previous releases?
Nah, honestly, when I write, it's more or less like bullet points I put in there. It's not like whole verses,
Right.
and then I go and I build off of that. Like, you know what I mean? There's like points that I want to get across, things I want to say, something clever here, something clever there, and then like I build off of that.
Right. Okay, yeah. So it kind of stayed the same throughout. That's really cool because a lot of artists kind of change up their songwriting process, but I feel like if you stick with one that you're familiar with, it's kind of easier for you to work with and you kind of get more ideas in that way.
Yeah.
So, what was the turning point that made you decide that you wanted to become a musician? Aside from obviously Nas, like you said, and all those other artists growing up.
Well, like when I was coming up, it was a little bit different than like rappers coming up now. Like I started out the humble way. I started battling, getting in the ciphers. Like before I wrote my first song, I battled at least 50 people. Like
Right.
it was different then. You know what I mean? I know you heard of like, Mac Miller, Wiz Khalifa, all that. Back in Pittsburgh, they had a club called the Shadow Lounge in
Mhm.
East Liberty. If you rapped, everybody went to the Shadow Lounge, no matter who you were. So like a lot of battling was there, a lot of ciphers were there. They have something called rhyme calisthenics where you get up there and it's almost like a skit thing where it was almost like now they do that wild style thing on Wild 'N Out. It was like
Yeah.
that before Wild 'N Out.
Oh
So
wow. Okay.
yeah, so like you had to do a lot of that there. So like it came with like time because
Right.
to begin with I couldn't write a song. Like anyone that's into battling and stuff like that, the hardest thing to do is to sit down and write a song because you're thinking off your top of your head so much.
Right.
That sit down and write, it actually took a while for me to actually grasp it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I can imagine. So I guess that kind of comes into my next question. A lot of rappers who you see who came up battling, they get into a lot of controversy because some of their lyrical content kind of mirrors what they were used to. Do you think that your lyrical content has kind of stayed the same from when you were battling? Because as I said, I know that some words are forbidden as they should be, but in battling, it kind of don't really matter what you say. It's kind of more or less your delivery of it.
Well, it depends what song. Like I can go back and forth now. Like the other songs I did, like Sean Corey, like stuff like that, that's just regular writing. And then if you listen to War Report, that's more of me battling. So
Right.
it's like different. I mean,
Right.
I think that if you're a true artist, you can break down and you can like go back and forth whenever you want to. That's just it's just a sign of the craft. Like you have to be able to build yourself up to do certain things, and you gotta drop yourself down when you gotta kind of get ugly on the battle type shit.
Right. Right. Yeah. And like I said, a lot of modern day rappers who experience that, I feel like they don't really have that differentiation, that they can't really switch back and forth whenever they want. So they just use the excuse that, oh, this is what I said when I came up battling. So they kind of use it as, an excuse to
Like
say
a
what they
crutch.
want. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you're battling and that's what you did for 15, 20 years, and now you're finally signed, you're putting out records, and you're still going off of that, your album ain't gonna sell. Ask
Right.
Cassidy, probably one of the greatest battlers ever
Right.
out. His albums was terrible. Like,
Right. Right, exactly, exactly. And you know, some and you know what, sometimes people blow as battlers and like you said, they don't really blow when they go and write a song. Sometimes
yeah,
that's just how it
there's some people that can write songs and can't battle. Like, I don't think you're ever gonna see Drake on a battle shit, but like, I mean, his album so like, I mean, there's the whole other side of the spectrum of that. How does
Right.
Drake write his own shit? I'm not sure, but if he does, like,
Right, exactly. Um So, how has the pandemic affected you as a musician? Has it made you stronger and more inspired, or have you just kind of stayed the same?
Maybe write more. Maybe write more because there really ain't shit to do.
Yeah.
So like you find yourself sitting there late night bullshitting, just writing.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what? I can respect that because I know me personally, it has made me um probably more lazier in that aspect because I don't really have the inspiration to write as much as I should. So I definitely respect that it made you write more. Because as I said, that's obviously a really awesome feat. And you can see that, obviously with you it seems like the grind doesn't stop. So that's really awesome. So let's talk a little bit about new music. Obviously, like I said, you just dropped a new album. Do you have anything that you were working on following that?
You know what? I'm probably just gonna take a break for a while and like just really push this album out because it's doing pretty well.
Mhm.
The album I had before that was an EP that did all right, and honestly, I didn't think I was gonna be able to top that EP, and I
Mhm.
ended up topping it. So now I'm like, all right, let me just sit back, do a couple videos for this, really like push this and see what I'm gonna do with it.
Right. Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. Um. So, what is the backstory behind the title, Chocolate Dynasty? Because to be honest with you, when I first got the album in my email, I thought it was Chocolate Starfish by Limp Bizkit, and I was like, this
Ah,
album's
that's
been out
dope.
for like 20 years.
I remember Chocolate Starfish. That was all right. Um,
Yeah.
Chocolate Dynasty. Honestly, I watched a lot of the old '70s like Shaft and all that type of movies. So I was thinking like, what would be cool back then? What would be a cool like movie? And it was like Chocolate Dynasty. I mean, and then I
Yeah.
put the autobiography of the Gritty Rock Show. So like,
Yeah.
I thought it sounded pretty cool. It's different. Like you know what I mean. Everyone else's albums always their album names like kind of sound the same most of the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
And
now that's something crazy. Like I mean, dude drops an album called like Prolific or some shit like that.
yeah.
Like
Yeah,
figure
or
that
like
out. Change out.
right, exactly. Or like I mean, I love Green Day, but like they have like band or three albums that are like uno dos tres and it's literally just one, two, three. Like
Yeah,
I mean you could come up with anything better.
you think they could like because they're one of the better like bands of the last what 25 years.
Exactly,
You
exactly.
think they were doing it?
Oh yeah, yeah. I think in some ways you're just kind of like, well, don't really know what to call this album, so let's call this first one, let's call this next one two, and the next one three.
Yeah, they probably burned out by the time they were done with the album. And just didn't care what they named it.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. But I mean, honestly, Chocolate Dynasty would be a movie I would watch because I feel like it would kind of be like Spinal Tap. I don't know if you've ever seen This Is Spinal Tap, but
I was
it's like the mockumentary. It's like a documentary about this band, but it's a fictional band. And
okay.
I yeah, like just the title, like the autobiography of the Gritty Rock Show. Like I just feel like it would fit in with This Is Spinal Tap, and it's awesome. I would definitely watch it if it was a movie.
I'm gonna have to check that movie out. I said Spinal Tap.
Yeah,
No, I'm gonna have to check it out.
yeah, yeah. Because it's like it's ironic because it's based on like that 70s type band and they're called Spinal Tap, but it's not a legit documentary, but it's filmed like one.
So are we going '70s type band like something like I don't know, like Sid Vicious and them, or is it something different?
No,
Like
it's kind of like Fleetwood Mac and like the Grateful Dead type.
oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a really cool movie though. 10 out of 10 recommend, and 10 out of 10 recommend Chocolate Dynasty become a movie like that. That'd be really awesome. Or have Chocolate Dynasty as like a movie soundtrack. That'd be really cool too.
See, now you got me thinking I need to make a movie out this shit. Yeah, you got me brainstorm.
Definitely, yeah, definitely. Now you do, now you do, and you know what? So sometimes it doesn't take much. I mean, those found footage documentaries, dude, like those shits, like they blow up. Like look at Blair Witch, like that blew up.
That had everybody. What I forget where it was in West Virginia that everybody was running in the woods looking for the Blair Witch and shit when it first
Yeah,
came out.
yeah, exactly. So I mean, found footage may be the way to go sometimes, to be honest. So
That's a
if
cult
you
classic.
Exactly. Exactly. So, if you could play any venue anywhere in the world, where would it be and why?
You know what? If I could play any venue, it's not really a venue, but I would play the park in the Bronx where it all started. I would do
Wow.
that. Yeah, I'd do that.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So it'd be kind of like the going back to your roots type thing.
Yeah, yeah, I would really like to do that. Or Rucker Park in New York, the basketball hoops where everybody's at, and they got the street games and some of the best ballers play there. That'd be cool to do a show there. You know what I mean? Like a halftime
Oh
thing for them
yeah.
cats. That'd be cool. Or
Yeah.
obviously Madison Square Garden.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You know what? You know what? MSG is a really common answer. And I feel like it's because, whether you're from New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, it's still kind of like a hometown type show, but it's like kind of selling out your hometown.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
Garden. I mean, if you sell out the Garden, you made it.
Oh
Like
yeah.
even if
Oh
you only
yeah.
did it one time, like say one time you did a show, you sold out the Garden. That's it. You don't got to do shit else.
No. No, exactly. I mean, like you're set. Like and honestly, it only takes one show or one tour for you to be set for life. And you don't really have to do music ever again, but a lot of times you do because you end up, you still do it because you love it. Does he love it? But I mean, you figure you're bringing in so much from those shows and tours. I mean, you could retire at like 30 years old or younger.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So that brings in my next question. If you could book your dream tour with yourself included, who would you also have on that tour?
Nas, Ghostface, Jay Z, and Rage Against the Machine.
Ooh, nice. So let me ask, why Rage Against the Machine?
It's my favorite band.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, I love them. They're dope. And I saw that they're up for the Rock Hall of Fame this year, finally.
Right?
Yeah.
I never
And
thought
so
I'd see it.
right. And so's Jay-Z. And a lot of people are like, bitching about that. But people don't realize hip hop has been getting inducted into the Hall of Fame for many, many years.
Well, you said you're a Run DMC fan. That's where they got all their beats, anyways. It was off of rock samples.
Exactly. Exactly.
Same thing with the Beastie Boys. LL Cool J when he first started out. You know what I mean?
yeah, LL Cool J, I mean, even if you listen to some like Tupac, like you can hear like he's
Yeah.
kind of influenced by that too. So
Yeah,
I
like
mean,
hip hop started between with samples either from rock or disco.
yeah,
That's why the Fat Boys, they was the Disco 3 before they were the Fat Boys.
yeah, exactly. And like I said, I mean, I believe that some artists deserve to be in there, but I feel like the artists that truly deserve to be there are the ones that are there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Jay-Z too. I mean, come on. He's an icon. He's not at this point, he's not even a like person. He's a business. His name is a business at this point.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you
And
really can't leave him out of something, anything musically. You can't leave him out of. He's done too much.
yeah, exactly. I mean, if he was just like, relatively newer and he wasn't really a business and it was just him, I could kind of understand that, but like at this point, it's justifiable to be honest.
I mean, the guy brought like it's not even himself. Like his albums alone is amazing. His catalog
Mhm.
alone is amazing. Without Jay Z though, you don't got Kanye.
Right. Right.
Can you hear me?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can hear
and
you now.
yeah, you don't got J Cole. You don't got Rihanna. Like
Nope.
that's a huge chunk of like your pop culture music within the last 15 years.
Right. Right. Exactly. And, I mean, I get it. It's called the Rock Hall of Fame. I mean, but it's like I said, Run DMC's in there, Pac's in there, Biggie. It's not like Jay Z is the first one to be inducted into there. Now, if they tried to put one of the modern day like mumble rappers in there, I'd kind of be like, yo, what the fuck? Like, I mean, but
It's crazy. You know what's crazy with the mumble rap thing? I thought it was going to die off. I
Yeah,
really did, and it did. A lot of it has. A lot of it has. Like because you can't continue to do one thing and everyone does the same thing over and over and over again because nobody wants to buy the same concert ticket twice. So it's
right,
like you can go to these guys, but you don't want to hear these guys. Like, you know what I mean? Because
right,
they just did it.
right. Exactly. And I feel like, that they kind of like mixed it with rock, but it's like you said, it was always influenced by either rock or disco. It was one or the other. And, I mean, especially I feel like when, Little Peep died and everything, that's when it really started to kind of dwindle down because it was huge from like 2014 to like 2017. And then it just kind of like started to dwindle down.
It
And,
just seems like the culture, like in hip hop, was looking for like that new hero. Like they
yeah,
were desperately searching for this new sound that was going to take them further, and the kids were, because I think these young kids were saying some of the most outlandish shit. Like they're coming out saying, they're better than Tupac, or they're better than Big, and yeah, I
yeah,
mean, the one guy said Eminem's old and he's trash. Like, and they're just outlandishly saying dumb shit that didn't make
right.
sense. I think the 2016, what was it, freshman freestyle that
Yeah,
had like all them on, it was just trash. It was just complete, just trash.
right,
Like, I don't know why they did that. Like, it just embarrassed their whole entire like movement.
right.
The only one that was nice on there was probably Dave East and Lil Dicky. Past
Yeah.
that,
Oh my god, yeah. Yeah, and you know what? And I feel like even to this day still Little Dicky is still like underrated. Like a lot of people still don't know about him.
yeah,
Even when
he's really good. He's
yeah,
really good. It's
yeah,
just he doesn't have a lane. Like
right.
that's a weird thing about music. Like you can be extremely good, but if you don't have a lane, you're not gonna go nowhere.
Mhm.
Like you'll just stay in that like fact where other rappers know you're good. It's just you don't have a fan base.
Right.
Like, I mean, so the
Exactly.
rappers that do have the fan base that aren't as good as you, they probably listen to your shit. Just
Yeah.
nobody else does. You're just
Yeah.
sitting there.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's shocking because he even had that show on like FX and Hulu, like all about his life, and he still, didn't get anywhere near where I feel he would have been because of that. Like I mean, look at Eminem. I mean, obviously he's like one of the not I don't want to say he is a pioneer, but he's one of the like pioneers that inspired the new generation. And he like, he blew with like the Slim Shady LP, but it wasn't really until 8 Mile, which was a replica of his life. He was playing himself essentially, that people started to catch on and recognize who he was. And I was really shocked that that didn't happen with Dickie.
Well, I think Eminem, man, he embodied something different than Dickie. Like Dickie's like almost comical. It's almost like comical rap. So
Yeah.
like it's something that's a little bit different than M. When M first came out, the shock value of what he was saying was so different, and we've never heard it before.
Right.
Like it wasn't like, I mean, you've heard rappers that said shocking like off the wall shit like with Redman, you know what I
Mhm.
mean, or with like other rappers like that, you know what I mean. But
Yeah.
like the Grave Diggers and all that shit. But then when Eminem first came out, man, he was saying shit that nobody talked about killing their mom.
Yeah.
Like he like went in and was just saying shit that we never heard.
Yeah.
And you gotta think, and he peeled his audience was 15-year-old kids. Let's be real.
Yeah.
So it's very hard to like it's very hard to go back and listen to Eminem's like old albums now that I'm older,
Yeah.
because I'm not an angry 15-year-old no more. So like when I listen to him, like, it's all right. But like me at 15, shit, I knew everything. Like my favorite song he ever did was "My Words Are Weapons."
Oh
That
yeah.
song was dope. I think it was
Yeah.
off of the what was it? What was
Was
the group
it
he was in?
oh my god, D12.
D12. It was off of D12's album. I think it was
Yeah.
like track 12. That
Yeah.
shit was dope.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And and it's like I'm saying, I feel like in a lot of ways Dickie's kind of like a rich white boy too, and that kind of obviously it was portrayed in his show, and I feel like people kind of couldn't really relate to him so much as they could M, because like you said, it was angry kids, maybe they didn't have an ideal home life, maybe they didn't have an ideal upbringing. They could relate to M. I feel like people listen to Dicky because, I mean, for example, his song Freaky Friday, like,
Yeah.
yeah, like what?
You
Like
know,
it,
you know what's weird about Eminem, man? You know how the Eminem fans and like the Insane Clown Posse fans don't like each other?
yeah.
It's weird because they're essentially the same people.
Yeah. Yeah.
like I've never. It's real weird. They're essentially the same people. Like they're both like, I mean, back from Detroit. I mean, they're Detroit-based rappers. They're the same type of shit. It's just that these two huge acts from Detroit just had beef, and their fans just split, and they stayed that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, who do I think has a more loyal, crazy fan base? Definitely Juggalos. Juggalos are
Oh yeah.
fucking nuts.
Dude. Dude,
They're
oh my
fucking
god.
nuts.
Dude, I know. Like that, I mean, like fiercely loyal, bro. Like fiercely
Yeah.
loyal. Yeah.
But you got your stands. Look, your stands. You can't say anything on any internet platform about Eminem that goes against what they believe, or they're going to jump on you like no one's business on these comments.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, anything Eminem puts out, they're going to say is amazing. This guy can do whatever on the mic, and they're going to say it's the greatest shit ever.
Oh yeah, like when MGK went at him and people were like, "Oh, MGK is weak." I gotta be honest with you, Rap Devil was good. Like he had a lot of balls going at M.
You know what's crazy with the MGK thing? Honestly, I think MGK had a better fucking diss. I really do.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think M just went with what we expected him to go with. He has more money than him. He's a icon. He's all this shit. But
Right.
the fact remains, you still blackballed this kid. Like,
Yeah.
what you do that for?
Right. First, I mean, yeah, it was kind of fucked up what MGK said, but it literally took years for M to even respond to it.
I mean, but what did he really say? He said Eminem's daughter was hot.
Right.
Okay, I'm sure he wasn't the first to say it.
Right.
I'm sure he's not the last to say it. I just
Right.
think M got butthurt because I feel M is getting older. And
Yeah.
I don't think
He knows he is.
M doesn't like that shit, and he's seen basically a younger him.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what he's seen. Because you could tell MGK idolized Eminem coming up. You could tell. It's there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's
He
seen
said it.
himself.
Yeah.
He's seen
Yeah.
himself, and he wanted to get himself the fuck out that building.
Yeah. As quick as he possibly could. But
Yeah.
and it's like I said though, MGK had a lot of balls going in him because he knew that, obviously not only was he gonna get clapped back from M, he was gonna have his fans coming at him too, which they did.
But he did the best thing, though. He
Yeah.
did that, and he switched a whole genre of music, and is doing better now than he ever did in rap.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe,
Exactly.
maybe just, I mean, it's not like he was trash. Like,
No.
everyone makes it like this kid was trash. He wasn't trash.
No, he never was.
Yeah, I mean, same thing with Eminem. Eminem does a lot of suspect shit with certain rappers. Like, he
Yeah.
signed Yellow Wolf and, like, shelved him for 15 years.
Yeah.
So, I don't, ever since Yellow Wolf showed his ass on that BET Freestyle Cypher, after that, yeah, I ain't heard from Yellow Wolf since.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, so
And,
M does he does little suspect shit sometimes. I
oh
mean, a lot
yeah.
of people don't really like look at, but like he does some shit.
Yeah. Like sometimes I feel like he just signs people just to say he discovered them. Like with 50 Cent, for example. Like 50 was already like rising before M even, quote unquote discovered him. And it's the same thing with Young Money, everybody always says, Birdman found Wayne and then Wayne found Drake and then Nicki Minaj and so, but they already had a fan base prior to them even being quote unquote discovered.
Yeah, you can't get signed without a fan base because
Exactly.
you gotta think when a label signs you, they're taking a risk. They're taking a risk giving you
Yeah.
money to put out an album. If you don't got a fan base, I mean, who wants to take that risk? What if you put out this album and it just doesn't go anywhere?
Right, exactly.
Like when Jay-Z signed J. Cole had the fucking he had all those mixtapes that he was dropping that were just complete fire.
Yeah.
So like if it wasn't Jay that was gonna sign him, it would have been anyone.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But and it's like I said, I mean, if you listen to Kamikaze, M talks about how he's like, oh, I inspire all these people and I brought the world 50 Cent. That may be the case, but once again, I mean, you can bring somebody to the masses, but he didn't make 50 a superstar. 50's fans did that.
And 50 was signed to Bravehearts before them, anyways. Nas's group.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, do you think that your unique genre and the way that you approach and do rap sets you apart from other rappers who may have a similar sound?
No, because when it breaks it down, okay, when you break my music down to the whole, you can tell who my favorites was. You know what I mean? So
Right.
every time I do music or every time I put out an album or a song, I'm either gonna get compared to Ghostface or I'm gonna get compared to Action Bronson. It's one of
Right.
the two. So like, I try to do my music like and keep myself in it, but just because how I sound, that
Right.
it comes out that way. I mean, is my music different from theirs? Yeah, like, you know what I mean, definitely is. But I mean, I guess that's a question for like people who listen to the album. I mean, what do they think? Because me, I'm always gonna be biased towards like I'm not like, I mean, I'm all right. I'm always gonna say I'm all right. I'm never gonna say I'm good or I'm great. I'm all right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and you know what? You're not the only one who does that. A lot of artists always say, it's all right, because I feel like recognizing that there's things that you feel you could have done better. I mean, even if people, love it, there's no complaints, nothing. There's always something that you feel you could improve on.
yeah,
And plus, I mean, being humble, dude, like, means everything. Nobody wants to hear some guys say, "Oh my god, like, I'm the best rapper alive," or "We're the best band alive," or this or that, or the next Stain, or "We're the next Nirvana," or the next Biggie. Like, nobody wants to hear that. Like, that makes somebody sound like a pompous asshole.
it's a lot of pompous assholes in music.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, definitely so. So, what can we expect from you in the future? In terms of uh, any hopefully shows, maybe sometime relatively soon. Anything else like that? What can we expect from you in the future?
Well, I think Brutal Business is gonna be keeping me busy here for a while. So I got a couple features coming up for a couple artists off the label. So I got to actually get out there and record these verses. They've been waiting on me and shit. I just, I mean, I got a son. I've been busy as hell. So, well,
Yeah,
when I get out there, I'm gonna record something for these guys. And show wise, I mean, once shit starts opening back up and things get normal, I'm looking forward to actually going out doing some shows, maybe get some merchandise, moving it. Really
yeah,
pushing it the old fashioned way, the fun way. Yeah, I
yeah.
mean, computers are cool, but like doing shows and shit, that's the fun shit.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And we'd love to have you on this side of the state, because Scranton has a pretty decent hip hop scene, and a lot of really dope rappers out here, and I feel like you'd fit in really well with them out here. So that'd be really cool.
I'm gonna have to get out that way. I definitely am. I've heard great things actually.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, it's very split. There's a lot of rock and metal, and then there's a lot of hip hop. So it's like an even split. So I mean, but it just it blends together very well. And honestly, I mean, I feel like everybody gets along pretty well out here too, and everybody's very accepting too. So it's really awesome. So if you ever can, definitely, and I could hook you up with like a show or two.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't mind better. Plus, I like rock anyway, so I'd like to hear it.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Well, that is all I have for you tonight. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. This was awesome. And everybody watching, make sure you check out Johnny Grhymes' new record, Chocolate Dynasty, the autobiography of a gritty rock show. It's really dope, honestly, and you won't be disappointed. And make sure you catch him wherever you find music legally. I know Napster's not really a thing anymore, but back in the day.
Oh man, said Napster. I remember
Yeah.
LimeWire. I used to fuck my computers up with viruses.
Oh my god, I know. And we had one. Me and my brother used Rhapsody.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and that shit like fucked up your computer, and it would do it slowly. Like your computer would be fine, you could download all this music. All of a sudden, it would just crash.
Oh yeah, that shit gave your
Yeah.
computer aids. Like
Oh
your
yeah.
shit was done.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. And like I said, it wouldn't happen suddenly. It would just it would just like slowly start to dwindle down, especially if you had like that shitty like gateway or some shit like computer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Took 2 hours to download a song and shit.
Oh yeah, and and then you would have to burn the CD, and then you'd have to write down what songs you put on there and in what order. Yeah.
Or you get that one humbug ass track you downloaded. It's not even a fucking track. It's just something stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, yo, and then the worst one was like when you would embed it from YouTube and like you said, it wouldn't even like embed, or it would just be like a humming, or it wouldn't even be the track.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like I feel like the best one for me was one time I was trying to burn a CD and all the songs were totally good. Then there was this little blip and then it was just like radio static and then it went totally out. And I still don't know how it happened to this day.
I think this is where that joke comes out of, like when they do it now. But like, I remember that me and my boy Pooter was downloading a fucking track. We finally got the track. We went to play it, and we heard this loud moaning coming out of this fucking speaker, and we were like, "Fuck, they got us."
Oh yeah. Yeah, because at that time, I know for a fact I didn't check to make sure it was the track because a lot of times you couldn't. Like you could just
Yeah,
download the track and you just had to go with it. Like you couldn't play it beforehand. So I would just like cross my fingers and like hope it wasn't, that or radio static or like a high pitched screeching or some weird shit like that.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. But honestly, though, thank you again. This was awesome, and I hope to catch you at a show and maybe catch up on another podcast in the future.
All right.
All right, you have a good night.
Hey, you too.
All right, bye bye.
Bye.